it is not sustainable and also scientifically not defendable to continue what you call extractive science, driven by rich capitalistic education institutions, and go into the field, take samples, analyze, write papers. That we are at the end of that road, or we are past that end. Is that more convinced? It only makes sense if you very strongly integrate the voices of the communities who are actually living with this changing environment, what is changed, like in this case with the ice sheet. The challenge really is that our research projects are 3 to 4, in very best case 5 years, and then typically they stop. That is not a time scale where you can really get in touch with a community from the outside. So what we are now facing is this period of a really high, very high risk of tokenism, that a bunch of scientists go in, have an interview with some kind of local, put that on video, put it in the report, and that's the communal voice, which does not help at all. It might be even worse because it looks like there is some contact. So actually, when we starting to talk to Kanak community, they were kind of rolling their eyes and said, another one, great. So they had bad experiences, and I hear that a lot. So that's the challenge that we are battling with. So we need some kind of a 10-year plus perspective to really do something. So our question is always really, how can we help? Forget about the science we are doing. So I mean, obviously drilling into the ice sheet is not something that a fisherman in Kanak would be very impressed with. But there is a lot of stuff, practical stuff, that we potentially can help. So we have kind of a questionnaire where we kind of ask the communities, what is your biggest problem here in the moment? And there are things coming up like the snowmobiles in winter constantly break down. So if there would be somebody who would kind of give a workshop of how to take a snowmobile apart and put it together and diagnose what's going, that would be, for example, high up. It has nothing directly to do with our work. There are also some, for the fishermen, they are really interested in the change in sea ice. So they would love to have sea ice maps and predictions how the sea ice might change. So that is kind of the next step, is really to make a community workshop and then use the power of this, the breadth and the depth of an institution like Columbia, and get colleagues involved. And really, basically, the topic of the workshop is how to help the community. When we are past that, then I hope we have kind of a trustworthy relation, maybe, hopefully, and then we can really start asking these questions and getting the communication. What's your perception of change in the last 20 years?